I'm Gabby Lamb, and you are listening to Tea Time, where we talk about the nastiest, naughtiest, wildest, dirtiest secrets. Enjoy. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, This is the first episode of Tea Time. I'll give a little introduction. I'm nervous because this is like my first solo podcast, and Tea Time, for those of you who don't know, is something I started on Instagram at the beginning of quarantine, where I put a question on Instagram that was like, tell me a secret, like that kind of shit. And then a bunch of people started rolling in. I don't even know where I'm supposed to be looking right now. There. A bunch of people started rolling in with the craziest shit I had ever heard. People were like, it was so easy because I was just like, tell me a secret. And then people were like, one time I shit my pants and a guy licked it out of my underwear. And I was at my mom's house and I was reading these things and I was like, and the crazier, it kept getting crazier and crazier. And then I kept going with it and I was like, this is fucking wild. And it turned into this like whole thing where then people would just start messaging me their secrets and this like dirty shit and stuff that they were ashamed of or things that they're embarrassed about. And it was wild. It's wild to me that people have trusted me with all of this information. I always keep it anonymous, of course, but it's kind of been like this thrilling experience in like vulnerability as well. And I really like talking about what embarrasses people and what they're ashamed about, because all of us have it, right? Like all of us have had really fucking cringy moments. All of us know shame. All of us know embarrassment. All of us all of us know vulnerability. And that's why I love Tea Time, because while it's like really raunchy and out of this fucking world, and like a lot of it is about like shit and cum, there's like there's a lot of vulnerability in talking about shit and cum. So, it can be pretty lowbrow, but also this is the stuff that people are like obsessed with. People like knowing dirty secrets, and that's why I'm like really drawn to this subject. I look insane. Look at my hair. It's so fucking frizzy. Look at this shit. I don't know how to do my hair. My friend, we're going to get into it in a second. I have a couple of emails that I want to read, but I want to do a little introduction piece, blah, 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 blah. My friend was like, every time you dye your hair, do you dye your whole head? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you're not supposed to do that. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And I guess that's what's been frying my hair. Doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? Let's see though. I'm nervous. I am very nervous about doing this, because you guys are going to watch this, and this is the first episode, and hopefully, we go up from here. And it's wild moving from Instagram to an actual podcast. But Tea Time started picking up so much heat that I was like, oh, I need to make this like an actual thing. People love hearing raunchy stories. This is my mugshot. It's just straight vodka. What if it was? It's actually just water. I don't drink anymore. For those of you who know, I am almost a year sober. Thank you so much. You're so brave. It is hard. Sobriety is a wild ride. We'll talk about that for a little bit. I will be 1 year sober January 4th. I got sober, last New Year's. Okay, so last New Year's was, I remember going into it. We all went into fucking New Year. At least I went into New Year's. I was like, yeah, 2020. Like, this is gonna be my fucking year. I'm gonna get things are gonna happen. I had just gotten out of a relationship that was torturing me to death mentally. And it was like that had just ended. And I was like, this is my time to reinvent myself. 2020 is gonna be a blessing. And then like, a month or two into January, into the year, a month or two into January, a month or two into the year, whenever the fuck quarantine started, all of that fell apart. But New Year's of last year, I did Molly, and went to a house party, and I was fucking on when I was making out with all my friends, and by all my friends I mean one of them who is a woman. And I remember all the guys were like watching us, and they're like, oh, fucking nice. And I was like, fuck you guys. I was so mad at men at the time that I was like, I'm just gonna make out with girls, because that was my rebuttal, I guess. But after that, a couple days later, it was my friend's birthday, and we went to a bar. We went to the Satellite, and I remember I was like drinking. I was trying to have a good time, and I couldn't have a good time, and I just kept getting more and more fucked up to like trick myself into having a good time. And you know, like when you get so drunk that like it's not even fun anymore, like you don't even, it's like you keep drinking and you're like not even getting drunk anymore, you're just like, what am I fucking doing? And that was the last time I drank. I just kept drinking to have fun, and it wasn't happening. And I just, so many times in the year of 2019, I would wake up next to vomit, and like I was a vomiter, so I'd always like throw up next to my bed, and I'd wake up, there was like piles of vomit on the floor, and I was like, all right, another morning. And then I'd wait a couple hours and then like drink again to like get rid of the hangover. And I never really thought that I had an issue with alcohol, but I've been in therapy for 8 or 9 years, and my therapist forever, for so long, she was like, you should look into 12-step. And I would just be like, fuck you, bitch, you don't know. I don't mean to call my therapist a bitch. I love her. She is, God, a blessing on this planet. But anyway, I was like, fuck you, bitch, I don't need a fucking 12-step. And she would be like, well, you're literally paying me to tell you that you need to go to a free program. So it was about 2 years of that until finally I was like, yeah, maybe it's time for me to get sober. But I never really thought I had an issue. I really didn't. I just thought I was having a good time. But, you know, the depression starts setting in, and your life kind of starts falling apart. And you're like, yeah, this is directly related to drinking and doing coke every weekend. I was drinking almost every night, but I was doing coke like every weekend, off of like, I don't know, fucking sinks and bars around LA. And I was like, this is great. And then it wasn't great anymore, you know? But I have a lot of my friends too, they were like, we didn't think you had a problem. And I'm like, is that also because all of my friends have a problem? Not saying that they do, but it's, now that I've stepped away from it, I'm like, no, I definitely had a problem. I just didn't know. Because alcoholism can mask itself as a social thing, and that's what it was for me. But anyway, fucking, that's just my journey with it. I have a lot more stories about drinking, blah, blah, blah. This is not an AA meeting. I just wanted to give you guys a little intro to who I am. I'm going to be so pissed if this episode sucks and you guys are like, shut up, bitch, we were expecting something really fun. I don't know. I'm nervous. This is the first time. So, tea time. I sent out a couple questions this week, and I got a few emails, and the question was something that you wouldn't want your partner to find out about you. And if people didn't have that, I tell people to just send me like stories about themselves. All of it's fun, all of it's interesting, all of it's fucking wild. So let's get into it. Let's see what people have got to fucking say. A love story for the ages. Here's a quick one for you, fresh off the press. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yesterday I was asked by a gentleman on a dating app if I could jerk off while hawking loogies on his mirror. I didn't reply, but the screenshot is provided. Here, he sent me a screenshot. Stop. So the guy says, this is on Grindr, it looks like. The guy says, into sugar daddies? And you say, in what sense? Looking to pay someone $100 cash to come over and jerk off while hawking loogies on my mirror. interested. Look, I fucking, this is the shit. And okay, I never want to come off as kink shaming. I'm not like, live your best fucking lives. I don't give a shit. People are wild. We like wild things. We're dark. We are whatever. But I love, okay, looking to pay someone $100. So he wants to pay you to come over and jerk off while you hawk loogies onto his mirror. He's gonna pay you $100 I mean, honestly, 100% I would do it. I mean, like, they would kind of scare me. $100 is like actually kind of low. I would do it for like $250. I would definitely do that for like $250. That's how broke I am. I'm like, well, no, okay, I would do it for $100. I am pretty broke. I would do it for $100. It's scary though. That would kind of scare me. So he's gonna pay you $100 to come over and jerk off while you fucking hawk loogies on his mirror. What does he do with the loogies after? Does he does he keep them? What? That's so he just watches you jerk off while you spit onto his mirror. What does he fucking, does he jerk off while you're jerking off? And what happens to the loogies? Does he save them? But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. People are fucking wild, y'all. People are truly so fucking wild. I have to think of some stories for myself because I like that. I like to share my own story as well as reading y'all's. Something I wouldn't want my partner to find out about me. I'm going to talk about a partner from the past because I don't have anything right now that I wouldn't want my partner knowing. He knows everything. But as far as like past relationships, fuck. It's not that juicy, but one of my ex-boyfriends, I cheated on him with someone that he knows. And I thought about telling him when we were together because he was also fucking cheating on me. He was cheating on me, so I was like, I'm gonna get back at this motherfucker. Which is never a good thing to do, but I was like so heartbroken that I was like, I don't give a fuck if he's out there cheating on me. Do you get a free pass, by the way? Do you get a free pass if your partner's cheating on you? Can you cheat on them? I think the answer to that is just get out of the relationship. But for me, I was like so ego driven at the time. I still am for sure. But at the time I was like, I'm gonna fucking cheat on him. But I never told him. But if he knew the guy I cheated on him with. And I will take that to the grave from him. I'll tell my friends who it was, but I'm never going to tell him because I have to seem like I'm wholesome. I don't know what whatever. Anyway, yeah, no, if you're going to fucking cheat on somebody, just get out of the relationship. Don't do it out of vengeance. But yeah, I cheated on my ex with the guy that he knew. And all right, next one. It's weird not having somebody to bounce back with. I'm always so worried that I'm going to like come off as really boring. So if this is boring, we'll get more interesting as it progresses. I keep looking at myself. How narcissistic is that? I really don't know where I'm supposed to look. Okay. So you didn't hawk loogies on the guy's mirror. That was a love story for the ages. I love modern romance. Oh fuck, you guys, okay, so one of my friends right now, this is wild. One of my friends is on vacation right now. He's gay. And the reason I'm telling you that is because it has to do with the story. He's on vacation and he's kind of doing sex work while he's on vacation, and he sent me a screenshot and I asked him if I could use this. So this has me fucked up. This truly has me fucked up. This is a okay, this is a text that a guy sent him. Oh fuck. This has me fucked up. This guy on Grindr sent this to my friend who's on vacation right now. The guy says, "Cool, I think you'll find it hot." I don't know what they're talking about, but he says, "My specialty. I don't know how to read. My specialty is actually giving a blumpkin. And for those of you who don't know what a blumpkin is, it's when you suck somebody's dick while they take a shit. So, if that's your thing, fucking go off. It is not my thing. You could pay me $100 to do it, though. Okay, so I'm going to tell this guy to DM me. My specialty is actually giving a blumpkin if you're down to try something a little extra kinky. Not many guys provide this. I'll drink your piss and suck your dick while you take a shit on the toilet. I can swallow your cum, too, if you can shoot twice. Love the first in my ass. Not a deal breaker, but it's a big turn on. Okay. There's more, though. There's more. So they're hooking up. So then my friend texts back and he says $200 for the blumpkin tonight. $200 for the blumpkin tonight. The guy goes, "That's cool. Let's plan on that since you have to shit bad." Haha. Let's plan on that since you have to shit bad. Haha. Then we can discuss other options to get your load up my ass. It's nice if you can piss right when you get here, before you get hard. Then I'll suck you and rim you for a bit. Maybe surprise me with a fart or two. Maybe surprise me with a fart or two. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to. Again, if you guys are into that, go the fuck off. More power to you. I could not. Anyway, maybe a fart or two, he says. It's nice. Then move. Okay, maybe a fart or two till you're close. Close to what? Coming or shitting? Then move to the bathroom. The key is to get you to finish your shit at the same time you come. I also like if you spit in my mouth and you are romantic, and if you are a romantic, kissing is cool. I like that he says, okay, dirty talk is hot, call me faggot. Wow, that is, I love that he said kissing if you're a romantic while shitting and coming. Nothing to me is less romantic than shitting. It's a lot for me to process. My windows are open, so anybody that walks past my room right now is hearing this. And if you are, thank you. People are fucking wild. My friend said I could share that story, so he texted me. My friend texted me last night and was like, I didn't do it. Well, he did. He like hooked up with the guy, but he was like, I was too nervous to shit because it was scary. I just like shit eating was too much for me. And he was like, and he was sad that I couldn't shit while he was sucking my dick, but he still made the money. And honestly, go off. Go the fuck off. I couldn't. There's no way. If I was hooking up with a guy and he was like, will you please suck my dick while I take a shit, I would say, no, absolutely not. Even if it was Post Malone, and if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a fucking huge fan of Post Malone. And if I was going to hook up with Post Malone and he was like, one condition is that I take a shit while you suck my dick. Actually, maybe I could do it. For Posty, maybe I could do it. But I don't know. It's a real... Maybe some of you guys are really into Blumpkins, though. And I am, again, not shaming if you are. I mean, that's your fucking thing. It is not my thing. It is not my thing. Okay, so next one. Some of these are kind of long. Some of these are kind of long, and they might be kind of boring if I read all of them, just because I'm not great at reading out loud. But I'm gonna try with this one. Okay. So this girl says, I've attached a screenshot of a story that I posted in 2017 about a date I had in 2015, and I cannot stop thinking about that day. Okay, I gotta get down for this one. I'll add a little more in context and chronological order. This is the dumb shit that happened for 2.5 hours. So she's on this date for 2.5 hours. It's just, okay. She agreed to a movie date. Obviously, with a hard time because it's a fucking movie. You need to show up on time. The guy doesn't show up on time, so I went by myself. Okay, red flag. He texts me during the previews to tell me that he's late because he had to go to the bank. I tell him where I'm sitting. He finds me and proceeds to immediately hold my hand, and I recoil. We watch the movie without touching. He's kind of weird at this point, but I'm 23 and bored, so we go get food. I'm 23 and bored, so we go get food. Okay, why not? This man suggests Chipotle. Okay, another red flag on a first date. Sure, why not? Again, she's 23 and bored. We both order and go to pay, but he cuts in front of me. Ew. With his wallet spread open to reveal the $100 bill this motherfucker got from the bank. Like, what the fuck, dude? Okay. Honestly, that's so fucking lame. Can you imagine? That is so fucking lame. He opens up his wallet. He cuts in front of me, opens up his wallet with a $100 bill, and he's like, check me out. Fucking who gives a shit, dude? Whatever. But in those if that was me in that situation, I would have just been like, okay, whatever, I guess this guy does that, because I get really passive in these kinds of situations. Okay, so Chipotle couldn't break the bill. Embarrassing. So he paid with debit while I silently snicker at whatever the fuck this attempt at impressing me is. It's pretty lame. He asks me about my research and I explain it. I was studying dynamics of debris flows. All right, girl. Smart. And I had to explain a lot of terminology to him. That's fine. It's a niche subject. Yeah, absolutely. He scribbles absolutely nonsensical diagrams on a napkin while telling me how I should do my research. Okay, guy. This guy sounds like such a fucking asshole. We take a walk and he starts telling me about his essays he's been writing. Doesn't go into detail about what these are, just that he is writing essays. But writing essays about what? What does this guy fucking do? He brags that a faculty member at my university consulted him on research, but he couldn't remember their name. Okay. I found out that he lived on a boat and worked as a captain for daytime booze cruises. He lived on a boat. Okay. That's kind of fun. He stops on the walk. So they're on a walk. He stops on the walk, turns around, looks me in the eyes, and asks me if I'd be willing to do something crazy. I'm curious. So I asked what he had in mind. He asked me if I wanted to circumnavigate the world with him. On his boat, he was working on repairing. I said no. That is so fucking cringy. That is so cringy. He looks me in the eye and asks me if I'd be willing to do something crazy. No! Okay, so he wants you to... This is the first date. This is wild. Okay, so he wants you to circumnavigate the world with him. I love that you just said no. So you're like, haha, no. Yeah. 5 minutes later, he seems to think things are going really well because he physically stops me and says, I think I want to kiss you. And I said no. He tells me he likes... Stop it, this part. He tells me he likes coy women. Stop. You said no. And he goes, I like coy women. No, that is not what that means. That is not what that means. I can't. I fucking can't. Okay. We finally make it back to the car and he tells me what an amazing time he had and that he'd like to get together so I could read some of his essays. No fucking thank you. I'm in my car, about to leave, when he opens my car door and places a single feather. He places a single feather on my dash and says, remember me, and then leaves. Huh? Fucking no. He places a single feather on your dashboard and says, remember me. We did not go on a second date, and he got mad when I texted him later to say so. He kept pressing me as to why I could possibly not want to go on another date, so I told him he seemed pretentious. Seemed pretentious? Girl, he seems like a fucking narcissist psychopath, and I shouldn't be psychoanalyzing people, but like, come on. No. He said I was missing out and would be sorry. He got you though, honestly. He fucking got you with that feather. I hope he got to spend his $100 on some other lucky woman. Sorry for this being so long and not even that exciting. But I've typed it all up. Here you go. Honestly, that was exciting though. That was pretty unhinged. That was a pretty fucking unhinged story. What a wild man. I wonder where he is now. I just like, what? Okay, also, I don't ever want to seem like super judgmental of people, but these stories are pretty fucking wild. And okay, that's Griselda. That was a wild story. I hope that you're well now. I'm sure you are. Okay, so let's see. Okay, things I wouldn't want my partner to find out about me. A week before I met my current partner, my best friend of 13 years left his wife and flew across the country. He showed up at my doorstep to profess his love for me and to be with me. Okay. His wife wasn't too happy and cut off all his credit cards, and he had to quickly fly back home. They went back to normal, and we went back to being friends. That's so intense. And we went back to being friends, and the guy I've been seeing for 10 months now has no idea. That is wild. That is pretty fucking wild. Also, that is the romantic thing anyone has ever done for me, LOL. Yeah, it's pretty romantic, but that is also fucking wild. LOL. Also, I hate the face the guy I'm sleeping with makes when he comes. Also, I hate the face the guy I'm sleeping with makes when he comes. And that's the ending on that email. That is so fucking funny. Honestly though, guys, you make the worst faces when you come. I've never fucked a guy and then at the end, like when he comes, I've been like, yeah, fucking make that face again. Like, guys, you make the worst faces when you come. And that's just on God, that's the truth. One of my exes, when he would come, oh my God, he would make the worst fucking face. I'd be like, ew, what the I was like, can you get it the fuck together? I was like, you're dead. You look like you're dead. There is nothing romantic at all about the face it makes when a man comes. There's nothing romantic about a man coming, by the way. Hot take. There is nothing romantic about a man coming. There's everything romantic about a woman coming, though. Women coming is hot, gorgeous. I don't know. Otherworldly, I would say. Women coming is a beautiful, peaceful, sensual activity. But men coming... no! That's what you guys all look like. I'm fucking done. Okay. So, that is a wild story. Okay. So the title of this email is this. I don't know if this counts for anything, but it has everything. And by everything, I mean passed out and vomited cum. Let's get to it. Hi. So I was seeing this guy like 2 years ago. So we literally had gone on like, I don't know, 2 dates at this point, and we had fucked once. So you fucked on the first date? Or, I mean, not that I don't care, but so I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so anyway, you fucked on the first date, and we were like super horny for each other. I love reading the way that you guys write because it's fucking funny. So we had fucked once, and we were like super horny for each other this one night. So we said, fuck it. And we went to his place. We skipped food, dumb, and just jumped each other's bones for a solid couple hours. I'm talking rough primal shit. So afterward, I'm like, shit, dude, I'm hungry as fuck. Shit, dude, I'm hungry as fuck. Okay, tight. Yeah. And naturally, that is what you say after you have sex. So we decided to walk down the street and order some fancy-ass hot dogs from this fancy-ass hot dog place. Mind you, it's Halloween in a college city, so there's a whole nightclub scene going on in this John. Anyway, I start getting anxious while we're waiting for the food, then lightheaded, so he took me outside to sit down. I fucking fainted and fell face first on the sidewalk and vomited his cum all over his t-shirt that I was wearing. Also, the first time we fucked, I started bawling my eyes out afterward. What kind of hot fucking mess was I? Anyway, I called my dad to pick me up. I guess I exerted myself too much on a completely empty stomach, so my body was like, LOL, nope. Also, guess what? That motherfucker didn't even give me my goddamn hot dog afterward. He fucking ended up eating it. Anyway, I hate him. You vomited his cum all over his t-shirt. Girl, you had a belly full of cum, huh? Quick thing about me. Maybe one day I'm going to look back on this and regret sharing all of this very intimate information. I do not swallow. I am not a swallower. So I don't know what it's like having a belly full of cum. I hope nobody in my family ever listens to this. But always for me, after I suck dick, I run to the sink. I'm like, I gotta go. That's what I do. So shout out to the queens who are out here swallowing cum. Honestly, no thank you. Okay. Wild. So you passed out and vomited cum. Beautiful story. Honestly, these are gorgeous. Okay, let's see. Next email. Girl, some fuck freshman year nasty shirt. Huh? Girl, some fuck freshman year nasty shirt. By you mean shit? Okay. So my first boyfriend asked if I was hungry before. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry I'm bad at reading this shit. So my first boyfriend asked if I was hungry before we wanted to go to his room, and I said yes. So he's Hispanic. He gave me some chili rellenos, and I'm white as fuck, and I don't know how to spell that, and I don't give enough of a fuck to Google it. Gorgeous. I don't give enough of a fuck to Google it, but it's that shit where there's like a pepper that's stuffed and fried, whatever. I don't know. I love the fact that you took the time to write that out. Girl, everybody knows what a chili relleno is. Yeah, it's a stuffed pepper. That shit's so good. That's so funny that you wrote that. Why? That's so funny. Anywho, we were making out in his room after eating that, and after eating that, and I was on top of him, and apparently a piece of onion was stuck in a pocket in the back of my mouth and fell out from my mouth into his, and he decided to swallow it. He decided to swallow it and say nothing and kept going and didn't tell me until months later, and I was petrified because that was my first ever makeout. And like, what? Yeah, why? I mean, that's pretty gross. I feel like we got really gross at the top. I mean, people are like literally out here eating shit and like getting off on that. So like having an onion stuck in the back of your throat is tame in comparison, but honestly, that would fuck me up. That would fuck me up. I've talked about this before. Like a really embarrassing moment for me sexually was one of my first boyfriends. No, he wasn't even my boyfriend. He was a guy that I was like hooking up with in high school. And I snuck into his house, as you do. And I sneak into his house. We hook up, and I leave my underwear at his house. And I realized afterwards that they were like full of skid marks. I was just like a skid marky queen, and I left my shitty ass undies at his house. And I remember texting him afterwards, mortified. I was like, please just throw my underwear away. I don't even know what they look like. Please don't even look at them. Like, I'm just like, throw them away. Blah, blah, blah. And I never heard from him again. I was just out here shitting in my pants. Anyway, let's see. I wonder what he did. I wonder what he did with those shitty ass undies. What if he still has them? What if he was like so horny for those undies that he could never talk to me again because he was like, I'm just like, this girl is amazing and I'm intimidated being in her presence, knowing how much she cannot wipe her own asshole. Honestly, that's the reality that I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with that. He was too intimidating. He was too intimidated by my shit undies. Okay. Okay, this is wild. This is a long one, but it's a good story. Fuck. Okay. Okay. He bought me a motorcycle after our first date. That is the opening line of this email. Me and my alcoholic cokehead ex had broken up. Girl, everyone has one. And by everyone, I mean the coolest people have those. Me and my alcoholic cokehead ex had broken up, and after a few failed dates here and there, I decided to up my age range and see what it was like to date older than I normally do. I was 25 and I matched with a guy who was 46. Our first date... Sorry, I was burping. Our first date... So you're 25, he's 46. Our first date was at a fancy restaurant and I was nervous. He was extremely outgoing, introduced me to at least 6 people during the course of our dinner. He knew the owner and practically everyone there, definitely trying to show off, but given my poor dating record, I was just happy a guy was buying me dinner and interested in my opinion on things. Our standards, girls, anyway. I love that. I love that it's just like a guy that just like is interested like on like knowing your opinion. Like that's what we settle for, because that's how much guys don't give a fuck. Anyway. So I was just happy a guy was buying me dinner and interested in my opinion on things. Anyway, dinner ends, we go to a show, and the night ends with him dropping me off at home, and we kiss goodbye. That's it. Over the next week, he is traveling to California to ride motorcycles with some friends. We are texting here and there, but it's the holidays, so it's a little sparse. Then I get a text from him asking me to call him. I do, and he proceeds to tell me that he has bought me a motorcycle. I don't believe him, but he insists it's real and that it's mine and that he's having it shipped from California in the next few weeks for me. When I tell him that is way too much and I cannot accept, he goes, no, don't worry about it. Even if we're friends, that's totally fine. We then set up a second date and he's back in town. That is so manipulative. Like, that is a manipulation tactic to the nth fucking degree. Our second date, he tells me to block off our second date. This is your second date. He tells me to block off an entire day because he needs more than a few hours with me. Scary, but okay. That is so scary. That is some fucking murderous shit. No! He picks me up and we go on our first date out of 5 fucking activities. God damn. 5 activities. Okay. The first one, it's axe throwing, and it was okay. He takes you fucking axe throwing. I mean, it does sound kind of fun actually, but like that's on a first. It was pretty wild. That sounds like one of those MTV things, you know, where they like those dating shows where they're like, you guys have to do all these challenges on for like Next. Isn't that what they did on Next? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Nobody on the shows were ever hot. They were all fucking losers. It's actually my ex-boyfriend was on Next. Actually, it's pretty funny. Shout out to him. He's doing well. Okay. Anyway, it's axe throwing and it was okay. Then we drive 40 minutes out of town. I'm fearing for my life. Yeah, fucking shit. Fucking shit. And we get to a private track where we go go-karting. Fun. That's fun. Around the city. This guy has done this before, by the way. Nobody just does this for the first time. Like, this guy does this. Then we drive back into town and get a foot massage. He had a foot fetish, I later discovered. One of my exes had a foot fetish. Then we go to a private airport. They're very popular. Then we go to a private airport where we get in a helicopter and fly around the city. What the fuck? After all this, we end the evening at a fancy restaurant again. I'm exhausted, but all his friends are there. And as the night progresses, it's clear they're looking to party. So they close the restaurant and we start doing coke and drinking a lot more. For the record, I am sober now, and this was a dark time for me. Okay, well, go off, girl. Congrats on your sobriety. That does sound like a fun night. Anyway, we go to another bar and we try to get his friends. We go to another bar, then we go back to his friends where we are until 2-3 a.m. ish. And then I think it's a great idea for me to bring Motorcycle Man back to my house. We tried to hook up, but his dick was too big for the condoms. So we didn't do anything. LMAO. Girl, you didn't just raw? You didn't just raw a big old dick? Good for you. And that's on standards. That's on having standards. He then proceeds to go to my kitchen and spend a weird amount of time alone in there. When he gets back, he keeps asking me if I could see myself with one person for the rest of my life and how I'm amazing in going places, and I need to figure out exactly what I want to do with my life right now. Basically, he wouldn't let me sleep and I was pissed. This is wild. Okay, this is getting dark. I get up the next morning to find one of my kitchen towels covered in cum. Disgusting. I immediately wake him up and demand he explain what the fuck happened in the kitchen. He says it's not cum, but he doesn't know what it is. What? What else would it be? Also, how fucking covered in cum was it? Like, soaked? How much cum did this motorcycle man have in him for you to be like, this is covered in cum? Okay, I tell him he has to leave immediately. I also love that that's where you draw the line. I love that you see this towel covered in cum and you're like, okay, now you have to leave. He then proceeds to tell me he has a piece. It's not COVID. I choked on my own spit. Stop. Okay. You tell him he has to leave immediately. He then proceeds to tell me he has a piece of buried treasure. What? He then proceeds to tell me he has a piece of buried treasure. Then he makes me watch a 5-minute YouTube video about this piece of treasure he has. I am laughing at this point and fast forwarding the video because it's so goddamn long. Oh! He then gets pissed and tells me I'm the most confrontational person he's ever met in his life. I finally get him out of my house, and then he calls me 5 times to yell at me and then apologize and asks to see me again. What? We never saw each other again, and I never got the motorcycle. Sorry, this is so fucking long. Okay, I mean, that was pretty wild. That was a wild fucking journey. Also, where's the link, sis? I'm trying to watch this fucking treasure video. That would be so funny. What if it was just like a video? What if it was just like a 5-minute clip from Pirates of the Caribbean and he's like, this is my treasure. This man sounds unfucking hinged. I also love that you start forwarding through the video because it's too long. What the fuck was in that video? Was it a video that he made himself? I'm hung up on the treasure part. Was it like a video of him burying treasure somewhere? It's like Chuck E. Cheese coins and Monopoly money, and he's like, I've got treasure. What? Who are these people? But he must have been like established a little bit if he has all this money to go on all these wild ass fucking dates. Like, Playboy's got money. I wonder what he does. I want to know more about this guy and where he is now. I can't with my hair. I don't know how to take care of hair. Okay. So let's see. You guys never cease to amaze me. The title of this email is called Fart Sex. Yeah, okay, let's see what Fart Sex has to say. I love when my girlfriend farts during sex. Also, I like to smell her poop after she poops in the morning. She thinks it's weird, but to me, it's so hot to know what that dirty thing truly does. I love the filthy aspects of digestion in a female. Let me know if I'm weird or not. Thanks. I mean, you're definitely weird. Again, no judgment. If you love farts and shit, that's absolutely your thing. Do I think it's weird? A little bit, because I can't relate. And sometimes things are weird when you don't The unknown is always kind of weird. I smell my own farts, but like not in a way that it gets me horny. Like sometimes I'll fart in my car with like the windows up and I'll be like, ugh, but like kind of chill with it. I would never want to do that with somebody else's farts. I love the filthy aspects of digestion in a female. Have you ever watched The Human Centipede? I'm wondering if that would be up your alley. And if it is, I do recommend psychiatric evaluation. I mean, okay, if my boyfriend was like really into, like, okay, if I pooped and my boyfriend, this is so dirty. If I pooped and my boyfriend was like, let me come in there and like smell while you poop, I'd be like, absolutely not, and I'm breaking up with you. But that's just me. That's just me. Your journey is your journey, and if she likes it and she's okay with it, fucking, I love that for both of you. Me personally could never do it. If my boyfriend was really into that, I would be like, keep that to yourself and don't ever let me know. I'm good on that one. But you know what? Are you weird? Yeah, but like, who isn't? You know, weird is relative. We've all got weird shit. So some of it weirder than others, but it's okay. As long as you're not hurting people, it's all good. Okay, we've got another one. When I was in my early 20s, I used to let my aunt's older dude friend fuel me up for extra cash. On the DL, of course. Huh. I used to let my aunt's older dude friend fuel me up for extra cash. Well, I mean, if it's consensual, great. If you can make a little extra cash from having somebody touch your, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but, for letting somebody fucking finagle your beehole. Yeah, good. I'm wondering, how much did you make? How much would I let somebody fuel me up for? $5. No, okay. If it was, I don't know, man. But it depends on how hot they were. If they weren't that hot, I'd be like $150. If they were really hot, I'd be like $25. Then that's my bargain. And where are we at right now? Are we out on time? We're about 50 minutes in. So you know what? Why don't we go ahead and call it for the first episode? Hopefully this turned out all right. And, the more we keep going, the more you get the idea of what's going on. Keep emailing me, keep telling me your secrets. Every week I'll have like a new prompt, or yeah, every week I'll have a new question, and email me your fucking stories. Of course, everything remains anonymous. And even if this was a bumpy first episode, I'm glad that we did it. I had a good time sitting alone in my room, talking to nobody, going on and on. I have a tendency to ramble. So I have a tendency to ramble and over-explain myself. I do that a lot. I'll get better at that as time goes on. You guys are great. I can't wait to hear more from you. I can't wait to hear more stories. Keep the more stories, the better. That's what keeps me going. I love knowing the weird shit that other people are doing. It makes me feel happy. Because it makes me feel like we're all one. We're all one in this weird, disgusting, funny, embarrassing life. And if that's not connectivity in the human race, I don't know what is. I don't know where to look. Half of this podcast is going to be me looking at myself and then me looking into what I think is the camera. But yeah, this was great. I had a really good time reading this shit, and you guys are fucking funny and you crack me up. And if you're out there giving blumpkins and hawking loogies and jacking off, more power to you. More power to you. Make that fucking money. Do all that weird shit. Do all that weird shit, because that's what makes us human. Thank you guys so much. I'm Gabby Lamb, and we'll fucking see you. We'll see you next time.